So before we begin, I want to focus on possessives. Just a little review of what we've learned, okay? So just to review your notes, we did possessives as adjectives. It is a noun or a pronoun that shows ownership of something. Sometimes they even function as adjectives. They answer the question whose about the noun that it modifies. So for example, the first person singular possessive would either be my or mine. Second person singular would be your or yours. Third person would be its, his, her, or hers. Then we have the plural. First person would be our or ours, your or yours for second person. This is the collective your. So if I was talking to all of you, I would say your, talking about all 6 of you. Then third person would be their or theirs. Okay? So they signal that some kind of a noun, which is an object, person, place, thing, or idea, would follow that possessive. So we would say her purse if we were referring to third person, singular, her, and then an item, her purse, her book bag. Or its. Maybe you were talking about a dog, you would say its toy. Last week you read about independent possessives. Sometimes a possessive noun or pronoun can replace an entire noun phrase. Okay? This is called an independent possessive, is when a possessive acts in place of a noun or a noun phrase. These are not adjectives because they replace nouns instead of modifying them. So let's look at our example in our book. His little sister's school plays t-ball instead. So hers plays t-ball. His little sister's school is being replaced completely by hers. That's why it is an independent possessive. Okay? So, down here we have noun phrases and independent possessives, and they're showing the difference between them. One student closed her desk lid. Another student opened hers. This is an example of an independent possessive because it's replacing the entire phrase, her desk lid. The same goes with these next 2 examples. The big thing I want to focus on today is the worksheet, number 123, Concept Reinforcement, Chapter 5, Possessives. In Practice A, you're going to underline twice the possessive nouns or pronouns. So that's going back to the original thing we were talking about, when the pronoun is actually acting as a possessive, possessing another noun. Person, place, thing, idea, or another pronoun. Then you're going to underline once any other adjective. Okay? Don't forget that articles are also adjectives. Let's focus on part A. Number 1. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park is a popular place for people to spend their vacations. Let's do the first thing. Let's find the possessive noun or pronoun. Here, they're talking about their vacation. They're going on it. So there is going to be underlined twice because it's a possessive. Now let's go back and find any other adjective. Article the is a possessive. Is another article referring to place. And popular describes the place. Number 2, the park was established as part of the government's program to preserve the area's beauty. Governments, there's a little tip off here because there's apostrophe S. Same thing with area. Back to the articles or the nouns. The park, the government, the areas. So I want you to try 3, 4, and 5. Now let's move on to practice B. It says to underline twice each possessive noun or pronoun functioning as an adjective and each other adjective once. Then draw those arrows again like we did in the other worksheet to the noun that it modifies. And if there's any independent possessives, they asked us to circle them. So let's do number 1. Cades Cove was one of the campgrounds in the Smoky Mountains, is popular because of its proximity to Loop Road. Okay. Underline twice the possessive. Let's do that first. Its proximity. According to our chart, its is a possessive talking about proximity. We have the, referring to campground. We have the, referring to Smoky Mountains. We have popular. Popular, though, is all the way modifying the word one. One of. And then, of course, its is modifying proximity. I do not see any independent possessives in this sentence, so we are not going to have to circle anything. Let's look at number 8, because there is an independent possessive in that one. The mountaineers' cabins along the Loop Road provide a glimpse of the simple lifestyle that was theirs. Okay. Mountaineers, that tip off with the apostrophe. Mountaineers' cabins. The, referring to mountaineers. The Loop Road. A glimpse. The lifestyle. The simple lifestyle. And then theirs is an independent possessive. Number 9, one resident's cabin had an unusual distinction. His, referring to cabin, it's replacing cabin, so that's an independent possessive, was the only cabin with a brick chimney. Okay. Residence, cabin, one residence, and distinction, unusual distinction, the cabin, only to cabin, a chimney, brick chimney. Try 7 and 10 on your own. Let's move on to practice C. Label the sentence patterns above each of the word of the sentence pattern. You're going to write its label. Then we're going to underline twice each possessive noun or pronoun functioning as an adjective and each other adjective only once. Drawing those arrows again to each adjective to the noun that it modifies, and then circling any independent possessives. So basically, in part C, we are putting everything we've learned together. So first, let's do A. For number 11, many people come to Cades Cove because of its wildlife. Okay, people, obviously, is my subject. Come. Come. Ask myself my questions. Nope, that's an intransitive verb. Okay, there is nothing receiving the action of come. Now I can move on to adjectives. Many, to people. It's is actually signifying a possessive, and it's possessive of wildlife. So that's number 11. Number 12, deer are plentiful in the cove as a result of the government's restrictions on hunting. Okay, starting with A. Subject is deer. Are plentiful. Are is my linking verb, plentiful being my predicate adjective, referring to deer. In the cove, the cove, a result, the, to government, governments with apostrophe, restrictions on hunting. Okay. Try 13, 14, and 15 on your own and send me a picture of this completed worksheet when you're done.